Hey everyone. So, obviously, it's been a while since I updated anybody on the petition or anything that was going on. I know I made a post and talked a little bit about it, but I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel, which was obviously something that's very new, and also update the actual petition here. And I know every time I make a post, I'll get like a couple 20, 30, 40, 50 people that actually go on and sign it that haven't heard about it yet. But I'm going to get the numbers now. So I got an email from um, an aide that is Representative Anthony Gonzalez's office. David Dobo is the one that I had a meeting with. And we are getting a little bit of a runaround, but that's totally fine. It's actually to be expected. So the message I got from him when I emailed him last week kind of just, wanted to like say, hey, obviously the pandemic happened and we met back in February after I was done being sick. I was sick the entire month of February. It was influenza B, but honestly, all the symptoms was COVID 19. But I have no idea if that's what it was. It literally took me the entire month to recuperate from that, and then also the whole month of March to just try to feel somewhat normal. Um, so it looks like I emailed him on April 10th, so 6 days ago. And I said, I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to touch base with you to see how it's going with the Orange Handicap Placard for Invisible Diseases and Disabilities. I'm sure with the pandemic that has put a damper on things, but still wanted to check in to see if there's any, update or feedback on anything. He literally emailed me back right away and says, thank you for the message. We began researching the matter after our meeting and before the pandemic. As I recall, we established the general sense of how to propose the change that could be implemented. First, with rulemaking, since my colleague in DC handled the development of legislation and policy, I began working with my colleague who's there in DC that was working on things. And then with the pandemic that was hit, we went into full crisis mode, and the efforts in the office have fully been directed towards everything that's going on with the pandemic. And then he said he will check in with the person in DC that he is working with. So I emailed him back again, saying thank you for getting back to me so quickly. So I just got an email this morning from him, and he says I spoke with the person in the DC office, the folks at the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, which is part of the U.S. Department of Transportation, suggested that we approach the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Further, that it was a state, not a federal issue. No. I have a feeling that we did that and we were told by the state that it is a federal issue. So they're going to keep things going and figure out the best approach for this. And then my response was, yes, you are correct. Representative Kleitz was the one that informed me that this is indeed a federal issue. I believe that it was her aide that uncovered this information. If you would like to contact them, and they could forward the information that they have. I do remember speaking with a person in the Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, and he was the one that said to me that it was a federal issue and basically said that even if we would get someone to pay attention to this, that there currently is no money to pass a bill or to amend the law, and basically told me to move on and it wouldn't happen. That's actually when I was like, okay, I'm going to go above you. And I contacted Anthony Gonzalez's office, and that's how David found me and responded back to me. So we just need to find the right approach on this and find someone who actually cares and understands that this is a much needed thing for the entire community for invisible diseases and disabilities to have. So I just emailed back David Dobo. So during this pandemic and during everybody who is staying at home and who is in this crisis together with all of us, need to understand that life is still going on, life is still happening. People are still dealing with cancer diagnosis, MS diagnosis, fibromyalgia diagnosis, things of that nature. There's a little boy down in Louisiana right now that they thought that had COVID-19. I believe he's barely not even 3 years old yet. And here, unfortunately, it is a cancer diagnosis, and it's a friend that I met, through social media, that it's her friend and it's her son, and it's just my heart just completely broke. And this has nothing to do with COVID-19. Like, there's other things that are happening besides the pandemic. I'm not downplaying the pandemic at all whatsoever. It's a very serious matter, and whatever state you are in. So I'm hoping this does, spread and keep going throughout the United States, because again, my goal is to get this passed in the United States and all 50 states first, and then do this globally. So if you're new to what you're watching and this message from me, um, I started this petition back in December of 2019, how to do an orange handicap placard, which symbolizes that the person that is driving has an invisible disease or disability. It is just to spread awareness and understanding to society. Being with my personal experience with the police being called on me, like if that would have happened and I would have had an orange handicap placard, guess what? I would have never even been questioned. And it's education that we really need. Today I have my makeup done. This is what my hair looks like done. Not really. It's just a headband because this is crazy chemo curl hair going on. But I did have a meeting with a person who is running for District 69 here in Ohio. Just a Zoom, call that she wanted to check up and ask some questions, and I said I'm all for it. So I figured I'd do a video when my makeup's done. But I look like a normal person to anybody else. Even if I'm limping, they can think like I did something to my ankle, if I was a runner, if I was a thing. But I was diagnosed with MS 10 years ago. I went through a grueling chemotherapy stem cell transplant 1 year ago. Yesterday was actually my transplant birthday. It's called a STEM birthday, and this is something again that is much needed. So I'm going to upload this video on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and just keep, my focus now that I'm fully better from being sick, that you need to get on the petition and sign it. I want this to go up thousands and thousands more. And the current right now is 27,371 signatures. So I want to double that. Let's go. Let's get the word out there that it's on here. It is on change.org, handicap awareness for invisible diseases and disabilities. And, again, I mentioned this a few days ago, and like it says, 5 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 1 week ago, all of a sudden I'll have a burst of signatures and then it just stops. So I want to start the momentum back up on this, because it seems like even though we're in the middle of the pandemic, this is something that is a good thing that needs to come to light and to the news when this is all over. Because again, there's other things that are happening on our day-to-day lives. People are still dying, cancer, old age, stuff like that. But I want to focus this back now that I'm fully recovered from a terrible flu. And again, it's not confirmed if it was COVID or not, even though I had all the symptoms of it after when this all came about. I was like, oh, wow, that was not fun. But I'm back fully, 100%, fully devoted to this as I was. I never stopped. I was just very, very ill. So get on to change.org, handicap awareness for invisible diseases and disabilities. Sign the petition. There is no need to donate. When you donate, it does go to change.org, and it does help the petition to come up. If someone just goes on to change.org, I'm not saying not to donate. I'm just saying what you're donating to is the website for change.org, which is fine, but there is no need to donate. All I need is a signature and for you to share. So this will also be updated on change.org as well as soon as I upload this on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I made a Twitter because of this. And it'll show like all of the 27,371 supporters that there's an update. So I am asking all of the people that have already signed, 27,371 people, share once a week. Not once a day, once a week, whatever you can. If you can just share once a week, say, hey, don't forget about this. My son is playing video games because he did his schoolwork for today. Sorry for the yelling in the background. But just please share once a week, and please still get the word out for this. This is something that is much needed for our society to help better educate for people that suffer every day from invisible diseases and disabilities. Thank you so much for watching this full 9+ minute video. Stay safe, wash your hands, and stay at home. Take care.